Okay, good morning everyone. This is from Joey, who is working in data color to promoting our product, and today he's in the venue of the CP+. So nice to meet everyone. So I will go straight to the Spider Cube product, which is our product, which is doing with the raw conversion, and it is very important to do with every image of every process of your image. So usually when we do have working with the camera, the best quality we should recommend all of you guys to shoot in raw files. So if you are still shooting with the JPEG, JPEG is good. Good for what? Good for the social media, uploading to the web, etc. But if you want to achieve the best quality of your image, so please have the raw files together, and also raw with JPEG only for the social media or on the web, etc. So for all the way, why should we always recommend you to use with the raw file? The problem is that usually for most of the camera, they cannot achieve a very accurate gray balance. They have a very standardized gray balance slot for your raw file, but not a very accurate one. Usually we have different kind of scenario, just like the indoor with different kind of the lightings, just like tungsten, fluorescent, etc. And also for the environmental side, we have also from the sunrise, moon, and also we have some kind of candlelight, which is some kind of artificial lighting. So you can see from different kind of lighting, we could see this warmer or cooler of the color temperature. So the most of the problem when we have a wrong color temperature, we will find because if we cannot have a very accurate color temperature when we are going to apply different kind of settings, just like the exposure, contrast, saturation, brightness, or curves. If the color temperature is wrong, you can see the RGB slide shift very extreme. Just like when the color temperature is too cool, you can see the peak of the blue will shift aside. So what if you change the saturation or contrast or exposure, the whole curve will be shift from side to side, and some of the extreme case will be blocked by the maximum point and the minimum point of the curves. So that's why we need to achieve a very good gray balance to make sure the RGB mostly is at the same point without diverting RGB to the other side. So when we modify our image in exposure, contrast, or brightness, you can preserve most of the data within the curve rather than cropping the extreme part, maybe the blue or the red, out of the gamut, out of the image. So there is so many different kind of gray balance product in our world, in the photography world. But why should we choose the Spider? It is because we are having this kind of special our special ABS cycloid, which is extremely durable and even waterproof. So we can use it even under the water. Some of the diving agents and the submarine people will just bring the cube under the water to achieve a very good white balance within water. So what if you are just using some kind of paper, QP card, or etc. If you bring it inside water, it will already very soft, etc. But this one, since it is a ABS cycloid, it's a resin. Even you have some scratch on the surface, the color underneath is still 80% gray. If you scratch the black, underneath is still a true black. So that's why it is extremely durable, and you can put it inside the water. And also compared with our competitors, they have the most stable spectrum throughout the whole exposure and different kind of nanometer of lighting. So even it's the minor features of every part of the Spider Cubes. So even it's a simple product, but we have
design it very further of every part for and why we are designing to be like that. So for the Chromebook, we can analyze different kind of the lighting, the main light, the effect light, etc. And then we can enlarge it to review it to see what is the reference lighting. For the gray surface, we have more than one. Even how do you put the spider cube? At least we can see more than one of the gray curve to achieve a good lighting of the gray balance. Also the white also and the black with the back trap, which you can define the absolute back. Also the most important thing, with a tripod mount, you can mount it into everywhere as you like. So here is some of the real scenarios. Is usually for most of the lighting, for most people maybe they use a snapshot camera with the ambient lighting as the main light. But usually we have also different kind of artificial lighting. Maybe perhaps you can have more than one TTL, or you can have studio flash. Using the 3D design, you can achieve the best gray balance without having the gray balance to be overexposed with the flash, or you can have the more even lighting from different side, different angle of the lighting to achieve a very accurate gray balance. And you no need to correct the model how they hold the gray card, because no matter how you handle the cube, you still can achieve more than one side of the gray. At least one of them you can measure with accurate. But usually we have two kinds of gray when you shoot. So which one you should choose as a reference of a gray? Usually I will choose the brighter one. Because why? Because it is the main lighting which will eliminate most lighting, most intent of the light throughout the image. So that's why we will choose the main lighting, the lighter gray as our gray balance. And also, it is more detailed about the lighting of each part of the spider cube. So, if you're using a Chromebook, you can, and because now all the camera have a very large resolution, so it is so easier for us to enlarge the image to see which part is the main light, which part is the effect light, and also what is the angle of the whole setup of the lighting of the Chromebook. And also with the Silky Pix, it is so easy for us to having the droplet, the gray balance tool on the brighter side of a gray to achieve a very easy, accurate gray balance. And also, usually we want to make sure the exposure is measuring correct, because if the image it is mainly occupied by a very black surface, the margin of the whole image of the black, usually it will make errors by the evaluation of the gray balance or the evaluation of the exposure of the camera. So in this case, we can have the exposure bias of the white surface to ensure the exposure will be correct. And coming to the next side, so it is another extreme. If the image is totally black or totally white, it is also a very worst scenario for the camera to achieve a very even or very accurate exposure by the camera itself. In this case, we also need a black spot tool to ensure which is the black spot of the whole image. And you can, in the comparison, you can see it is more contrasty, more 3D, and you can see the details to be more accurate by using the back trap to using the back hole to has a black reference. And for motorcycle side, usually for the camera, they fail to achieve a black calibration by the camera itself. And when you're shooting raw using the back trap, it solves its problem instantly. So, and it is coming to the real scenario side, how can we achieve to do it with the Silky Pix. Okay, so when we back to the real demo of the Silky Pix. So usually, it is for this kind of image, we are shooting the raw files with the Ricoh GRD, the version 1. It is a dedicated version of the Silky Pix. So that's why we need to plug our spider as a dongle to activate the Silky Pix, and then there's no need for you to activate the camera, the software itself by plugging the dongle only. So when you import all the image to our computer, it is so easy to find that the white balance when using RAW, it may not achieve a very good white balance. So what we need to do is so easy as what we say in the PowerPoint. there is 3 bias: the white balance, the black balance, and also the gray balance, to measure the whole exposure and also gray balance of the image. It's easy for us to do is having the gray balance first to achieve a brighter price of the image, to achieve a very good white balance. So in this case, we can do a before after. So what if we choose a wrong exposure, wrong gray balance? You can see the RGB is not overlapping by its side. But when we back to a very accurate gray balance, you can see the RGB can accurately override each other, and you can very easy to achieve a very good gray balance. Which is, this is not easy for us to measure it by eyes instantly, but we can using only one drop at once to see a very accurate gray balance. Okay, and also we come to the next level is the white bias control for the white area and also the black hole. So it is so easy to achieve a very even exposure with the maximum point and the minimum point, which is close tightly inside the histogram. So usually we have a series of the image, so we can just copy what we want by having Ctrl C or Command C, and then select more than one image. And apply one by one instantly by itself. So it is so smooth for everyone to be having such a workflow by having one accurate exposure with the spider cube, and then all of the image coming above will be the same exposure with the same good lighting. So it is even more effective when it is with an ambient light, which is more noisy and more weaker ambient light exposure. It is more easy and more effective to see the problems. Having the brighter side, the white bias, and also the black control. Usually, when you're using a black control, you can it's more easy to see the black detail more instantly. And then copy, apply. So easy to see the whole difference. So in this case, it's a more extreme case for the camera to achieve a very good auto gray balance. It is when it's less than 50% of the image can be white, black or gray. It is more easy for the camera to have warm gray balance exposure. Much easier. Also the same 3-point. And the back part is so easy to see, and then the details level of the image will be changed instantly because the black hole. And then copy and apply. So here is the most easy way when we choose with shooting raw with the spider cube. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. Thanks a lot.